I get this a lot. I wanted to be a pilot, but. I always wanted to be a pilot, but. I love aviation. I would love to fly. Me too. I just picked up the phone and started walking forward, right? One step at a time, sometimes a couple steps back, but you keep moving forward. My life is a series of random yeses. My passion for flying came from the original Top Gun. And so that movie came out my senior year in high school, and my best friend and I told all of our friends that we were gonna be fighter pilots. And he went to San Diego State, I went to Pepperdine, and he called as we were graduating and said, "We said we were gonna do it, I'm doing it." And I said, "Okay, I'll do it too." And I literally pulled out the yellow pages, called the Navy recruit, the Los Angeles Recruiting Depot for the Navy. And I got accepted, and 2 weeks before I left for the Navy, I went to Santa Monica Airport. There was a learn to fly, $35 for 30 minutes. And so I went to the Santa Monica Airport, walked in the building and said, "I'm going to Navy flight training in 2 weeks. Here's my 35 bucks. And the guy said, "You're kidding, right?" And I said, "No." We were at a cocktail party and I'm learning to fly the F-18, and there was a PXO, so a guy that was going to be the prospective executive officer of a squadron in Japan. I didn't even know the Navy had squadrons in Japan. Then we're having a beer and I said, "Oh, where are you headed?" And he said, "Oh, I'm going to VFA 192 in Japan." And I said, "Oh, that sounds cool." And he said, "Do you want to go?" And I said, "Yeah, let me check with my wife." And so then we ended up going to Japan, and Japan is incredibly carrier aviation focused. You spend a lot of time on the ship. So my carrier skills got very, very good. I became an LSO teaching the Marines how to land on the ship in San Diego, which is where I was from. So I got to fly fighters at home. It was great. And then got picked up for the Blues, and it just kept going. We moved to Colorado Springs. I got hired by United and assumed that all of the fighter jet flying was behind me. It was incredible. I was in my mid-40s, and then got asked if I was interested in joining the Patriot jet team, former Thunderbirds, former Blue Angels, and which led to Maverick and flying as a stunt pilot in that, which led to Mission Impossible 8. So a series of fortunate events. Aviation's done everything for me. I mean, the interesting thing, and I talk about saying yes, I was never afraid to walk through the doors of opportunity. I know dozens of incredibly qualified fighter pilots who didn't want to apply to the Blue Angels because they were afraid they wouldn't be picked. That never entered my mind. I just knew that I wanted to go all in and walk through that opportunity. There may be success on the other side. There may be failure on the other side, but I don't know until I walk through that door. And that's been true my whole life. Walking through one door opens up 2 other doors on the other side, which opens up 4 other doors, which opens up 8 other doors, and it just multiplies. Talk about Top Gun and how it impacted me full circle as an adult. 18 years old, the movie comes out. I see the movie, it looks great. Everybody remembers the opening scene, the steam out of the catapults, the F-18s, and I just thought that looks awesome. And pursued it and continued to pursue it. And I had a lot of good things go my way, but I also walked through a lot of those doors of opportunity. Now, 33 years later, I get a call to train the actors and actresses. And I thought that would be incredible, just to meet them and have some involvement in the sequel. Followed by 6 months later being asked to fly in it as a stunt pilot is still, I have to pinch myself. I mean, it's near unreal if it wasn't real. And so my Blue Angel training, my air show training, my combat training allowed me and prepared me for the role in Top Gun Maverick. But all of that training was inspired by Top Gun. It's full circle.
Yeah.
I think there's 4 stages of life, at least there have been for me. As a fighter pilot specifically, it's amplified. In my 20s, I was arrogant. I didn't know what I didn't know. In my 30s, I was experienced. In my 40s, my kids are older, they're junior high, high school, my wife is at home, I've been gone a lot, and I have tremendous experience and leadership that I'm beginning to pass down. And now that I'm in my 50s, I recognize that our family has been very fortunate. And I want to be able to try and provide those opportunities to others, whether it's through inspiration and support, motivation, mentorship, and giving back. And I guess you could refer to it as a legacy phase. I'm not really concerned about my legacy. What I am concerned about is when I do pass, that somebody will say, I got to be in the Navy, fly airplanes, be a Blue Angel, fly with United, because I talked to Scott and it changed my life. For the dreamers, the people that want to be pilots, people that are considering to be pilots, whatever your passion is, I want to do X. Say yes, own your errors, learn from them, and ask for help. Everybody wants to help others succeed. You'll do great. Let's keep rocking and rolling.
Yeah.